Phil Hendrie Show at 1-800-449-8686. And let me just start the show by giving you the news. We just got it today. It took about 1 month that we've been on afternoon drive on the West Coast and early evenings on the East Coast. But it's taken us exactly 1 month to become the number one rated afternoon drive talk show in Los Angeles, which doesn't make, it doesn't matter to the people, the rest of the stations along our vast affiliate list, but it matters quite a bit to us. Number one in afternoon drive. What was that? That took about a cup of coffee, didn't it? I mean, I knew it'd be easy, but a month that's almost embarrassing. Number one in afternoons. What do you think of that? Okay, our number is 1-800-449-8686. The census. There are some 500,000 temporary census workers poised to knock on 43 million doors starting this week to get answers to 2,000 census questions from people who have, or to get answers, to the 2,000 census from people who have not returned their forms. On the line with us is attorney Harvey Wireman, who... I guess, Harvey, you've seen a lot of, well, I don't mean to say you've seen a lot of censuses, but you've been around long enough, I guess, Harvey, to know that there have been a lot of censuses taken, huh?
Oh, well, Phil, I'm 78 years of age. I don't have any problem with I don't have any problem whatsoever with the age reference, but I do have a problem with the census.
So 78 years old, you've been around for the one in...
Well, you don't have to go back down over my life history, but the 1990, the 2000, the 90, I've been around a long time. I was born I'm 78. I was born in 1922. So take it from there,
What is the main problem you have? Do you have a problem with the census?
Yeah, something. It sounds to me like you weren't prepared for this interview, and I can hang up and...
No, I'm just, we're excited about the news that we got that we're...
Yeah, I heard you're number one in afternoon drive in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we're just excited about hitting the number one mark as the afternoon talk show in L.A. And I mean, I knew that we'd have a hill to climb. I just didn't think it would be this easy, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's great.
So we're excited about it.
That's great. If you want me to call back later on, I can do that.
No, I want to ask you about this because, first of all, I know that my wife, Maria, was curious. We didn't get a census form. And
well, if you didn't get a census form, consider yourself lucky. It's nothing that you want to be involved in. I hate it. I've hated it. Oh, God, I hate it.
You're going to have to get on the phone, okay?
I don't like it because it's a useless questionnaire that someone came up with to justify their ridiculous job. In my opinion, it is an unconstitutional violation of every decent common courtesy. God damn it.
Are you emotional about this?
I am a little bit because so much happens in the middle of a census that bothers me. Number one, they got that goddamn Peter Coyote doing the TV commercials, who I would have expected more out of. Here's a guy that gave us... I just thought he was a hell of an actor, Phil. And for him to do the census commercials, and for these people to come around to my door and ask me intrusive questions having to do with how old I am, how many people live in the house, what nationality. If they're sending these losers out to knock on our doors, why don't we give them some mail or a UPS package to go and deliver? Give them something to do. Because give them an actual task. And
why do you have a problem against the census? Certainly the country needs to know how many people are in it so that we can be better represented.
Oh, that's baloney. You don't need to have a census to figure out how many people need. You gerrymander you do it according to a timeline, and you adjust seasonally. You don't need a census that is simply in place to figure out where you are, how many bowel movements you have every day, how often you masturbate. Every intrusive question.
And you know full well they don't ask those questions.
I beg your pardon?
You know full well they don't ask those offending questions. You know that.
How do you know? Have you ever answered have you ever answered a...
You want to get some water?
Hold on. I'm so PO'd. I got to...
Get some water.
I got to get some water.
Harvey Wireman, attorney at law, is with us. He's anti-census. You know, a lot of people are, and for the very reasons that he's giving us, because they consider it an intrusion.
And okay. First of all, I think that I forget what we were talking about.
Me too.
Well, it has something to do with the fact that these sons of bitches come door to door. That's what I was talking about. And the fact that they're going door to door. You know, the last people to go door to door, Phil.
Let's forget about this for a minute. Let me get you refocused on why you don't like or appreciate the census, okay?
I don't need to be refocused. I know why I don't like the census. I'm an attorney. I've worked for a lot of years with a lot of different organizations that have tried to keep themselves sacrosanct and protected against government intrusion. And in that time, I have seen quite a few people have their constitutional rights. I have seen marriages fall apart. I have seen even the commonest, decent shred of humanity fall away because these census takers...
What's at the heart of this thing?
Because I will tell you something, Phil.
What is at the heart of your disgust and your hatred of the census? Because I don't think I'm getting to it. I asked you the question. Doesn't a country have the right, to...
Well, they're coming door to door like these a-holes from the Jehovah's Witness. We run them off. When's the last time you had a Jehovah's Witness, one of those a-holes come to your door? When's the last time you had the Jehovah a-hole come, the Jehovah Witness come to your door?
I can't remember.
Because we run them off. And we run them off, and we'll run off the census taker, too, because I don't want to see it any longer. And when you get a Peter...
What is at the root of this disgust and hatred of census takers?
When you have a Peter Coyote who did E.T. and The Legend of Billie Jean, and now the son of a bitch is...
What is at the very heart and soul of your disgust with census takers?
My wife, in the 1960 census, one of them apple treed her.
What?
Census taker apple treed my wife.
I don't understand what you mean by apple treater.
One of them, they hopped the trolley with my wife. Catch as catch can. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand. A census taker apple treed your wife.
Made whoopee with her, for Christ's sake. He laid pipe.
Do you know what he's talking about?
What are you, stupid? In the 1960 census, the son of a bitch brought lumber into my home.
I still don't...
He banged my wife. Do you understand what...
well. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean by he apple treed her. So that's it.
That's it.
That's Gladys you're talking about, right?
Yes, my Gladys, who died 3 years ago.
Well, your marriage survived it.
Yeah, well, because she never found out that I knew.
You never confronted her over this?
Never. I never confronted her over it. I knew that the census taker was there because he had called the house to say that we'd been on vacation.
This was the 1960 census?
1960 census. I was a young man. I was 38 years old. And I don't know.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How do you know that he brought lumber or whatever you want to say? How do you know that the census taker took your wife to bed if you never confronted her?
Oh, come on. A husband can tell, Phil. You're a newly married man. But a husband, let me tell you something, my man. And I'm going to tell you something right now. If you laugh at this, so help me Christ. Because this has been a pain in my heart for a long time.
Why would I laugh?
I'm just telling you, if you or any of the sons of bitches that work with you laugh at it.
I wouldn't laugh, Harvey. What?
I came home that night, and she was tiptoeing around a little bit. It looked like she'd been riding a horse or something. I don't know what was wrong. And then I saw her toss a couple of pillows down on the chair before she sat down to have dinner.
She threw pillows onto the chair?
That's correct. And kind of winced as she sat down. I put two and two together. The census taker had been there, and she's tossing pillows onto a chair. Oh, my God. You know that the pain is still real for me.
Wait, are you not drawing some conclusions?
No, I'm not drawing. What are you talking about? This pain in my heart.
So your wife threw down 3 pillows onto a chair, meaning what?
Well, what do you think it means? She was walking around as if...
What do you mean she'd been riding a horse? I don't get what you're talking about.
Are you going to make me spell it out? Because so help me Christ, Phil.
I'm not trying to belittle you. I'm wondering what you're talking about. Your wife had relations with a census man is what you're telling me. But you're the only thing that you're basing it on is the fact that when you sat down for dinner that night, you saw her put down 3 pillows on her chair and then sit down very gingerly.
Right. That's exactly right.
And because the census taker was there.
That is correct.
Had the census taker... all right, was she having surgery? Was she...
No, she wasn't having any surgery. She got apple-treed by this son of a bitch to the point where she had to put pillows on a chair. She couldn't sit down for 3 days. And I never brought it up. And I never humiliated her because I felt, what good's it going to do? I'd been traveling. I figure a woman, everybody's, you know what? Phil, if you'll find out sooner or later, women, you can't keep a net over them. Biologically, they're different from us. Now, this is something maybe your mother told you, maybe your father told you. I know that my mother warned me. Women are going to do this at least one time in your marriage.
Why?
Don't try not to be the talk show host for that.
I want to know why. Why do you say that women are going to do this at least one time in a marriage?
Because they're built that way. Because you know, as well as I, given the right circumstance, a woman's capable of doing anything. And there I was, looking at my wife sitting on a couple of pillows. The census man had brought lumber.
Maybe she got a splinter.
All right, screw you. Right in the ass, you piece of...
Oh, come on. He's the guy with she got apple-treed. Maybe she got a splinter and he hangs up on me. Call him back, will you please, and tell him that I'm sorry. 1-800-449-8686. Well, what a hell of a thing. He was married very happily to her for a long time, but given the right place at the right time, a woman's capable of anything. It's the Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. You're now listening to the #1 rated afternoon talk show in Los Angeles as of the winter book. We're very proud of that. We're thankful for that. And we will continue to be. So this is it, baby. We have ascended the heights, and we're here to stay. I thought maybe it'd be like a 4, 5, 6 month process, but hey, you want to give it to me right now? I mean, you want to hand it over to me right now, brother? I'll take it. 1-800-449-8686. Harvey Wireman is the gentleman on the phone, a guest. Thank you for taking Mike's call, Harvey. I'm very sorry that I offended you, okay? Wait a minute, where is he? Harvey, you there? Well, I don't have him. What happened to old Harvey? Let's try this one more time. I can hear something in the background. Harvey, you there? Jesus. Well, I'll tell you what. Can you call him back one more time, Mike, and see if he's there? 1-800-449-8686 is our number. What we have is a discussion here, generally speaking, of the census and census takers, and the fact that we had at least this opinion from Harvey Wireman that the census is something that is unnecessary and unconstitutional. Harvey, you there?
Yes, I'm right here, Phil.
Okay. Forgive me for the phone problems we're having.
That's all right, but when you know...
You said that the guy was bringing lumber, so I made a joke.
The reason why I don't like these census takers, and the reason why I don't like any of these sons of bitches that go door to door. Any woman, and I mean any woman, no matter how devoted to her husband, sooner or later is going to bed one of these guys.
And every single woman out there who sees enough Fuller Brush men and enough Arrowhead Water guys and enough...
enough Jehovah's Witnesses, they're going to sack one of these guys. And it just so happened it was a census taker in my wife's case, And I mean, Jesus, H. To me, I couldn't believe it. She couldn't sit down for 3 days. See, to me, that's the thing that offends me the most. You know, she's going to have a dalliance, a sexual dalliance. That's one thing. But she took this guy on in triple overtime? Holy Christ.
And you never said anything to her?
I never said a word. I suffered in silence.
You're a good man for that.
Yeah, bullcrap. I'm an idiot.
No, I admire you for that. Here's Youngstown on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Well, first of all, I can't believe that your financial analyst or whoever he is...
I'm an attorney at law, dear. I'm an attorney.
...would be somebody who has such a low opinion of women.
Listen, I lived it. I don't know how old you are and how far around the block you've been, but I lived it.
Well,
My wife took on a census taker and needed a pillow to sit down on.
Okay, does that mean that you had to stop your newspaper because you were afraid of what the newspaper carrier would do?
Well, first of all, the newspaper carrier comes while I'm in bed with my wife at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm talking about some son of a bitch that's coming around when I'm not there.
So that's
during
the
the
reason why
daytime.
the census is bad, because you couldn't trust your wife?
Yeah, you see, in other words, you're saying that taking the census is bad because...
I know what I'm saying.
Because a census taker in 1960 apple-treed your wife, as you put it.
Yeah, that's what I think. And the young lady that I'm speaking with here...
Well, that's just plain stupid.
Well, it may be stupid, Phil, but the young lady, are you a housewife, ma'am, or do you work during the day?
I work during the day.
All right, so you're not at home. You don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about these young broads that are at home. Their husband's one of these internet millionaires. He goes off in a BMW, and he doesn't come home till 6.
Well,
and what are you going to do if you're sitting around all day, and here comes some well-hung Jehovah's Witness who...
Would you please?
What?
Would you please?
it's really
What?
sad that
It's the way you're talking, okay?
What did I do?
The comment about the Jehovah's Witness, we don't need
You don't need what?
I got to just say one thing before I go, because I'm on my cell phone.
Wait a second. Did I say something wrong
I'm
here?
glad I have a big bill for today.
Did I say something wrong?
I've never heard your show before.
Did I say something wrong?
Yeah, the whole thing about the Jehovah's Witness with being hung.
Oh, well, excuse me. Have you ever come home to your wife and she's walking bow-legged and sits on a damn pillow because a Jehovah's Witness was there for 3 hours?
Is this guy for real?
Are you nuts or something?
I am telling you, I lived it, for God's sake. I lived it.
How can this be a real, whatever his title is?
I'm an attorney at
He's not
law.
even talking about the census.
I'm telling you, I started off.
I pushed him in. I pushed him into it because he was bad-mouthing the census as unconstitutional, and I said there's got to be something deeper because it didn't sound like there's any real thought behind it.
Phil, I do believe the census is unconstitutional. I think it is an unconstitutional intrusion into the people's personal life. But I will go further and tell you.
You better tell him to watch out for those little boys selling candy for the Cub Scouts.
Are you saying that if you were staying at home, you'd screw a Cub Scout?
I said you'd better watch out.
Well, wait a second. What are you saying? That a woman would actually go to bed with a Cub Scout?
Your
Holy
wife might.
Jesus.
I guess
So in
your
other
wife
words,
might.
that's the kind of humiliation that you would heap on a man. Is that it? You'd bet a Cub Scout. God damn it.
Oh, come on.
said-
She's making fun of the fact that what you're saying, that every man that comes to the door...
I will tell you, if my wife had ever taken a Cub Scout to bed, I'd kill her. I would have... Okay, screw both of you.
There he goes. He just hung up again.
Okay, well, listen.
All right, ma'am. Thank you for your call. I appreciate
I'm
it.
going to listen to your show again.
Yeah, all right.
This is the
Thank
most
you very much.
entertaining
Great.
time I've had.
Thanks. Get him back on the phone and tell him if he wants to be an adult, we want to talk to him. If he doesn't want to be an adult... The lady laughed because he was talking about his wife screwing a Cub Scout. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendrie Show website, available at philhendrieshow.com. You can pick up the best of the Phil Hendrie Show 99 CD, Communism is Neat. It's available for $23.50, $3.50 shipping and handling, and $20, and the money goes to My Friend's Place, a resource center for homeless and runaway kids in Los Angeles. And to date, we have raised this year. Our campaign commenced in mid-December. We've raised about $128 million. What did I say? $128 million? $128,000. $128 million. If I could pull together $128 million, I wouldn't be doing it for My Friend's Place. I got a pool I got to pay off. Anyway, $128,000. We're very thankful for your support. So go to philhendrieshow.com and check it out. Harvey Wireman, attorney at law, is with us. We're talking about the census and the reasons why the census is not good in his opinion. As an attorney, Harvey, I've heard you not give many legal opinions. You've been giving me a whole lot of reasons why you don't like the census, because you suspect the census taker of having taken your wife to bed. Well,
that's reason enough for me not to like the census. I gave you legal reasons. I gave you constitutional reasons. But you said to me there's got to be something personal. Yes, there was. A census taker laid some pipe in my bedroom. Jesus Christ. You talk about the government screwing you, and I don't mean that as a joke. Government screwed my wife. And I don't think it's funny, and I don't like people making jokes at my expense.
The lady laughed, okay? She laughed. Here's Struthers on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Hi.
My wife passed on 3 years ago, Phil.
I know she did. Yes, ma'am. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, my only complaint is his filthy language. I wish he'd clean it up,
Well, what did I say, dear? What did I say?
Every word that comes out of your mouth is filth.
Well, I'm sorry. I lost my dear Gladys. She was 72 when I lost her.
Well, you'll never get to heaven using the word Jesus like you use it.
Well, I try to be a good man, but every time I walk past
clean up your language a little bit.
Well, you know something? Every time I walk past my bedroom door and I look in, all I can see is a census taker's rear end going up and down.
There you go again.
No. All I said was rear end.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I lost my husband, too.
God bless you. When did that happen, dear?
18 years ago.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
But anyhow, I just wish that
you know what I
language.
mean? You know what I mean? When you come home and you see your own wife walking bow-legged,
let's not talk about that.
Why
let's not talk about it.
Why did it have to? Do you play cards?
The best thing is forget about it.
Do you play cards?
Forget the past and
That's
go
very
to the
good.
future.
Forget the past and live your life.
Right. Forget the past.
Can I ask you something, darling?
Yes.
Do you play cards?
Yes, I do sometimes.
Do you like to play? We've got a bridge deal that we do. Do you do that?
I never played bridge. No.
What do you play, dear?
500 and pinochle.
Great game. Have you ever? And forgive me, but have you ever walked bow-legged or
no,
you don't need to
haven't.
say that.
No. I wish you would stop talking that way.
I'm sorry.
I want you to clean up your language for your own sake.
I know it, but you wouldn't do that to your husband, would you?
Absolutely not.
And yet my wife had to throw pillows down on a chair.
Well, I said let's not talk about that.
Man, it's tough.
Years ago, we said people use filthy language because they didn't have enough brains for intelligent
but wait
words.
a second. I said apple tree, and this dumbass talk show. Wait a second. What happened?
She hung up on you because she didn't want you using that language.
What'd she do?
She hung up.
Why?
Because you called me a dumbass.
Oh, for Christ's sake. All I said, I tried to say apple tree, and you didn't know what I was talking about, did you? And then
I didn't know what you meant.
So then I said made whoopee, and then I said laying pipe. I said 23 skidoo. I said everything that I could say, and so you forced me into saying bringing lumber, didn't you?
I didn't know what you were talking about by a census taker apple-treed your wife. I didn't know what you meant.
And now that poor lady thinks I'm a piece of crap because of you. Thanks a lot, Phil. Thank you.
Oh, I see. It's my fault.
Yes, it is, because you knew what I meant by apple-treed, and you tried me to get this. You wanted me to say bang, and you want me to say ass, and I know why you have me on your show, because I'm colorful. I'm a 78-year-old man. I'd worked my ass off in my life to do the things that I thought were right. And
Harvey, I know you're a great attorney and you loved your wife very much. I honestly don't bring you on the show to ridicule you. I honestly bring you on the show to get opinions from you, okay?
Well, I don't believe it.
Well, you're going to have to believe it. I was asking you about the census. You're the guy that brought up the fact that your wife got apple-treed, not me. You're the guy that brought up the fact she was throwing down pillows. And then you asked that lady, have you ever walked bow-legged? 75-year-old woman.
Well,
Take a drink of water and chill out, man. Barstow on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
I think you're talking to a man of an entirely different generation. And I think he's missed something in all of this when his mother said every woman will, because every woman won't. She might have been forced. I can't see an acquiescent act causing 3 days' worth of pillows to sit on. I didn't have that much pain when I had a child. And I feel very sorry for him because he didn't ask her. Maybe she was very hurt.
Are you saying she was raped?
She could have been.
I wish...
Normal sex wouldn't cause that.
I'm sorry?
Normal sex would not cause 3 pillows for 3 days and walking bow-legged.
You know something? I wish what you were saying was true, but you should have seen some of the guys that I was with in the Marines. And I don't even want to... I don't know
what men do.
Well,
I'm
not talking about what
Marine.
I'm not talking about what they do. I'm talking about how they're equipped.
I'm married to a Marine.
If she was forced,
and he's wonderful.
If she was, well, let me ask you something.
On anybody, even if he wasn't wonderful, and he
all
wasn't.
Right, and you know you've had to use a pillow every now and again to sit on, right?
No, I have not.
Well, then he can't be a Marine.
Oh, yes, he is.
Then
I'm 100% man.
Honey, if he's a Marine, you're sitting on pillows.
Oh, come on. What are we talking about?
He wouldn't do that.
If she was forced, then why was she whistling for 3 days? For 3 days, whistling that the movie had just come out in 1950.
Maybe she was so nervous she couldn't stand it, because I certainly wouldn't confide in a man with your attitude.
I was married to my wife for 47 years. We loved each other, and we were through each other thick and thin. I only hope that you're married to a guy that long. How many men have you been married to?
I've got a wonderful one.
How many times have you been married?
Unfortunately, 4, but I finally found a good one.
There you go. I know you've sat on a pillow at least once in your life.
When I had kids.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. I think that's a very interesting point that you're making. Harvey, how do you know that
she would never trust him
she
enough
wasn't
to tell
raped? She wouldn't have been whistling zippity freaking doodah for 3 days. Zippity doodah. Yeah, that sounds like a woman who was raped, all right.
Then why on earth would you put up with that? If you're any kind of a man,
yeah, why didn't you
put up with
I want to
it.
know, why didn't you confront her? Why didn't you confront her? Tell me.
Because when I was in college, I worked for the Census Department.
Yeah? Did you apple tree some woman? You did, didn't you?
It's the best sex I ever had.
So you're going door to door taking a census, and you apple treed some chick, huh?
Now listen to your language.
Oh, I'm using your terms, man. Thank you, ma'am. I think we got to the bottom of this.
You know what? I think it's a big case of a pot calling a kettle black, and I don't have very much respect for that man.
Absolutely right.
Thank you.
Look, and she's a woman. You know as well as I do she'll go to bed with anything. And
you're working for the Census Department, and you went to bed with some woman at the door.
How dare he put women in that category?
Well, the thing that bothered me the most is that my wife was sitting on pillows for 3 days, and this chick that I apple-treed, she barely noticed.
She barely noticed.
Maybe you were doing something wrong.
So you apple-treed her where?
On the kitchen table.
And she barely noticed. So you figured your wife didn't notice when you took her to bed.
My wife didn't notice. My wife's sitting on... Oh, you mean when I took her to bed?
Yeah.
Occasionally she woke up. You know, she'd be sleeping. And
well, then you were definitely doing something wrong. I'm glad I've got my Marine. I wouldn't trade him for anyone like you.
She said to me, Harvey, are you in yet? And I said, holy Christ.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much.
You married to a Marine and you never sat on a pillow. Boy, that's...
I don't have to.
All right. Thank you very much for your call, ma'am. Pasadena on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi. I think it's important to realize and
I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I I think it's important to separate the two issues here. I feel as if Harvey is having issues with his wife, and I think that's important to separate from the census issue, because those are two completely different things.
Absolutely.
Well,
Harvey
the thing
is really blurring the lines here.
I never got laid so much than when I worked for the Census Bureau. And
forget about whether you got laid working for the Census Department. This woman's making a good point. The census is one thing. How often you get laid is something else.
I think those are interpersonal issues that individuals need to deal with, and not, place the blame elsewhere, because I think the blame and the issues lie within, not in the census. Because and being a lawyer, my roommate is in law school right now, and I know that she's taking a lot of logic classes, and it's a lot of thinking and logic and whatnot, and I feel like there's a total absence of logic in his argument. It's just not there. And as well, stereotyping all women into one group, I just think that's very poor and uneducated.
I apologize.
And an ignorant statement.
I apologize, and I don't mean to stereotype all women, but I got to tell you something. Census workers get more ass than a pair of hot pants. And when I worked for this...
Sir?
Yes,
sir?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Again, you are stereotyping all census workers, and that is not a fair or accurate statement. In all groups,
you can't say that about... so a census worker...
Yeah, well,
It's not a fair statement. I mean, do you appreciate it when people are stereotyping lawyers as cheats?
No, I don't. That's a good point. No, I do not. That's a very good point. But
so I think putting yourself in that place, you need to really examine the argument that you are making, and first of all, separate the issue that you had with your wife, because that's an interpersonal issue that should have been dealt with counseling and whatnot, but not, it's
lawyers,
not a sensitive issue.
Lawyers only screw people in a pocketbook. A census taker, if what I'm led to believe by my wife sitting on pillows, they give it to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
What did I do wrong now, Mr. Talk Show host?
We don't need to... Yes, ma'am.
I think it's definitely important that before you
separate
speak,
the
think
issues
about what you say, and also separating issues, because you are not separating them. You and your wife,
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry that you guys were, plagued with infidelity and whatnot.
Have you ever?
But I think it's very, very important that you examine that separately.
You know what I mean by walking bow-legged, though, don't you?
I think that is like an ignorant statement, and I think most women out there and men would agree with me. That's an ignorant statement. And I think if you really sat down and looked at the yourself and looked at the logic, you would understand that it is an ignorant statement.
Ma'am, it may be ignorant, but I will tell you it is very accurate. She was walking like a cowboy after a 3-day ride.
Ignorant and
okay.
Do not...
All right, screw it. Forget it. I'm sorry I brought it up. This is the talk show host is the guy that called me and wanted to talk about the census.
You're the guy that...
Sir,
yes.
That's why you should be speaking of the census and not about your interpersonal issues and infidelity problems with your wife.
All right.
Address
Can I ask
the census apart from whatever issues you're having.
My wife never gave me a backstage pass, and she gives it to a census taker, and you don't find that unusual? Let me ask you a question. How many pillows have you ever had to sit on? How many pillows have you ever had to sit on? Seriously.
That's not relevant.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Are you going to hang up on me?
I hung up on him. You know what? It's way beyond the pale, as you were saying, ma'am.
I think it's just too bad that he isn't able to,
grasp the
concept, because it seems simple, yet...
Thank you very much. Thank you for your call.
Thank you.
1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Now the #1 rated talk show in afternoon drive in Los Angeles, the Phil Hendrie Show. Thank you. We were on for a month. We're #1. Didn't take long, and here we are. So, but we expected it. Got a great book here called Hemp and the Marijuana Conspiracy. And this is really what they call the authoritative historical record of the cannabis plant, marijuana prohibition, and how hemp can still save the world. I don't know that I'm into hemp. I mean, if it'll help me smoke more weed, sure, I'll buy hemp clothes or whatever the hell. If it'll help it legalize the weed, then yeah, I'll do it. But I don't care whether I'm wearing a freaking hemp shirt. Do you? Hey, man, we can have hemp rope, hemp shirts, hemp facials. We can get whatever. Smoking in America. This is from a chapter called Prejudice, Marijuana and the Jim Crow Laws. White people have obviously been extremely ignorant when it came to race relations in this country, on up to the present day, but it never got dumber than it got in the early part of the century with regard to smoking weed. A marijuana usage in America did not actually occur. The first recorded marijuana usage in the United States was not actually until 1903 in Brownsville, Texas, among Mexicans. And then in 1909 in the port of New Orleans in the black-dominated Storyville section frequented by a lot of sailors. So as of 1903 and 1909, we know two places, Brownsville, Texas, and New Orleans, where weed was being smoked by servicemen coming in, and that's pretty common. Even after World War II, when the guys were coming back from the Far East into San Francisco and Los Angeles, they were bringing weed with them at that time. New Orleans Storyville was filled with cabarets, brothels, music, and all the other usual accoutrements of red light districts the world over. Sailors from the islands, meaning the Caribbean, took their shore leave and their marijuana there. The Public Safety Commissioner of New Orleans wrote that, quote, marijuana was the most frightening and vicious drug ever to hit New Orleans, and in 1910 warned that regular users might number as high as 200 in Storyville alone. The district attorney and public safety commissioners and New Orleans newspapers from 1910 through the 1930s said that marijuana's insidious, evil influence apparently manifested itself in making the, quote, darkies think they were as good as white men. Now, how did they figure marijuana made black people feel they were as good as white men? Well, marijuana was being blamed for the first refusals of black entertainers to wear blackface, and for hysterical laughter by black people under marijuana's influence when they were told to either cross the street or go to the back of the trolley. So when they were told to go to the back of the bus, they laughed their asses off, must be because they're stoned. In New Orleans, whites were also concerned that black musicians rumored to smoke marijuana were spreading a very powerful new voodoo music that forced even decent white women to tap their feet and was ultimately aimed at throwing off the yoke of the whites. Today, we call that new music jazz. Now, in L.A., and in your station, in your town, I should say, all over America, we have these jazz stations, right? So-called. Here in L.A., we got a station called The Wave. You know how many white women are tapping their feet to that? You got that wave, man, making all them white chicks tap their feet to Herbie Hancock. No wonder that CBS Infinity's pulling down that big jack. Making all them white chicks give it over to black guys who are smoking the weed and playing jazz. And now they're electrifying it. What else we got here? Well, just to give you got to get the book. It's called The Emperor Wears No Clothes, The Authoritative Historical Record of the Cannabis Plant. Harry Anslinger was some narc, I believe in the state of Pennsylvania. And he put a tail, because he suspected marijuana use, he put a tail throughout the 1940s on the following people. Tailed by narcotics agents were Jackie Gleason, Milton Berle, check this one out, Kate Smith. That's about as square as it gets. Kate Smith sang the national freaking anthem for the Philadelphia Flyers because they love their ass. And then a whole bunch of black musicians you can pretty much figure. Cab Calloway, Thelonious Monk, Lionel Hampton, Louis Armstrong, Count Basie, and Dizzy Gillespie. All those people tailed for weed in the 40s. So we're going to read extensively from this book throughout my remainder on the air in America, because I love that stuff.